Hey everyone, how's it going? Hassan here. Got another Power Rangers review for you today. This time, it's a review of Legacy Titanus. I finally have it. Massive box. This thing is huge, and I am excited. So this is the latest in the Legacy toy line. We have the Legacy Morpher, the Legacy Megazord, the Legacy Dragonzord, the Legacy 5-inch figures. There's all sorts of Legacy toys. Legacy Titanus is the latest in the collection. I never did have Titanus as a kid, so it's really cool to finally have it, and I'm excited. Same thing with the Dragonzord and the Megazord. I had the 2010 Megazord, but that's about it. So a lot of the Legacy line, I've actually never really had as a kid, so it's really cool to finally have it now. So I'm going to do somewhat of an unboxing, just kind of taking this out of the packaging and showing you what's in there, and then I'll do a full review and stuff, in the same video right afterwards. But first thing I want to point out, which is really annoying, so I pre-ordered this from Toys R Us, just FYI, so it came in the mail today, although, well, I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but anyways, and here is how it came from Toys R Us. Let me show you how it was in the packaging. It was like this in the packaging. Yes, literally open already. And the box is kind of all damaged a little bit down here. Yeah, so terrible, terrible, terrible shipping from Toys R Us. Toys R Us, you suck. This is not cool at all. The front of the box is kind of bent open a little bit. I debated whether I would send this back for a return or not, and I decided that once I kind of take this out of the box, I'm going to really inspect it and see, as long as Titanus is okay, then I'll live with it. I'll be fine with it. The box is just a box, as cool as it is, whatever. The main thing for me is the toy, hopefully, is intact. So, yeah, that's kind of, I really do hope it's okay. If not, then obviously I will have to then return it, which really sucks. So anyway, so here's the box. Let's take a quick little look at the box in the meantime, whatever is left over. So Titanus in huge letters right there. Looks awesome, really cool. Obviously same style packaging as you had for the other Megazords and everything in the Legacy line. Metallic paint and die-cast parts. Toys R Us exclusive. You get your Mighty Morphin logo. There's a tank mode that it mentions right there. So Titanus, Legacy Titanus, the Carrier Zord. So pretty awesome packaging. I love it. On the top, Titanus, you got the Mighty Morphin Rangers right there, Titanus right there, which is really cool. The bottom doesn't really have anything, just as the contents, Titanus. On the side, so one side has got the story in a couple different languages, so the story from Mighty Morphin. The other side has got some stats on Titanus at the top, and then it tells you how you can form the Ultrazord on the bottom. So there's some stats on Titanus right there if you want to read that. I don't know if you can read it or not, whatever. Ultrazord. So if you have the Legacy Megazord, the Legacy Dragonzord, and now Titanus, then you can combine them to make the Legacy, or rather the Ultrazord. So really cool. I'm definitely looking forward to trying to do that. And then the back shows you all the fun stuff again, how you can combine them, and then posing and all that fun stuff. Anyways, alright, let's get right to it. Let's open this thing up and pray that nothing is damaged. I did a quick little look. I took out the tray a little bit and peeked. Seemed okay, but I just want to confirm now. Make sure nobody screwed me over with my Titanus order. I really hope everything is intact. I really, really do. I'll try and slide this thing out here. Okay, well, I do have the instructions at least, so they didn't forget to put that or something, I don't know. So anyways, I'll put that to the side. Move that away. Alright, so a whole tray of different items here. So right here I have the neck for Titanus. Again, seemingly intact. So here it is. I'll show you up close looks at all of it in a little bit. I just want to make sure that everything looks okay. All right, so this so far so good. There's a little chest piece right here. So let's kind of take this out and just double check. So it's got two smaller little pieces here and then a bigger chest piece. Try and zoom in a little bit that you can kind of see. So that, and then 2 small little pieces. So again, I'll show you up close stuff on these in a little bit. One of the, I guess the feet. And also, chain. That's pretty cool. So it came in a bunch of different little pieces here. So you got that. And another one. So far, everything looks okay, thankfully. I think it probably was just the packaging, because they really are careless with the packaging. I've gotten some 5-inch figures from them before, and they've messed up like the packaging for those. The items themselves were fine, but the packaging, like if you're a collector and you want to save the packaging, absolutely do not order from Toys R Us. If you're like me, and all you care about really is the item itself, then you'll probably be okay, even though it is really frustrating that you're paying a lot of money for a collector's item like this, and that's how they treat it. Wow, so this is kind of the main body piece, just kind of inspecting it again to make sure everything is okay. But yeah, decent weight to it. This thing is pretty hefty. But yeah, the item itself looks okay from my initial opening of it. So, all right. So at least thankfully, it looks like everything turned out okay with Legacy Titanus. No issues or anything with the item itself, which was my main concern. So, all right, now I'm gonna put all this together and let's get right to my review. All right, here it is, Legacy Titanus, all assembled and up close. It's actually very hard to do in front of the camera because of how massive it is, so I tried to like position it accordingly. I wanted to get a shot of Titanus in front of the box. It almost looks like he's a part of the box, but actually, nope, the box is back there. This is the actual Titanus right there. So yeah, it is massive, and this is actually really hard to record, but I will try my best. So anyways, yeah, let's get that box out of the way. And let's try and, I'm like right at the edge of my table here to record. This thing is huge. I will see, there's going to be times when Titanus is going to be cut off in the shot. I'm trying to move things out of my way. I don't even have space here. Because this thing is huge, if you can't tell already. This thing is big. Yeah, so as you obviously saw when I opened it up in terms of the scale, it's huge, but it's very awesome. It definitely has a lot of weight to it. This thing is heavy, for sure. But it looks great. I mean, I really do like it. My one maybe very minor complaint, I really don't remember how Titanus looked on the show, in terms of color specifically, but this gray I wish might have been like a black color. Very, very minor little complaint there. Otherwise, this thing is very impressive. Now it does roll, so you can kind of push it around, and as you push it, you'll see the feet do move up and down. So that is definitely pretty cool. So I'm like knocking stuff out. I'm telling you, this thing is so huge. The tail is like pushing my little poster board background out of the way and stuff. It's so hard to show on camera. But yeah, very cool. I do like that, and it rolls really easily. There's plenty of like wheels and stuff on the bottom. You got the 2 giant wheels there and all these smaller ones there. So it easily rolls around, which is great. Now in terms of the actual detail on this thing, let's take an up-close look at it here. So, some great detail on the feet. By the way, all of these things that you see here, these are not, they're not stickers, as far as I can tell. Like, I don't want to mess it up, but as far as I can tell, everywhere I look on here is paint. They're not stickers at all, which is very impressive. Because, yeah, I mean, you can tell this stuff really pops out. The paint that they used all over this guy, very cool. And obviously, you know, you're paying a high price for it, roughly, you know, like $200. I mean, you're getting your money's worth in terms of the detail. Really great paint. The gold they use is nice and shiny, and I like shiny. So you can see the great detail on it there. On here, you even got the little Dragonzord symbol thing there, so that's pretty cool. The back foot Has some really cool symbols and stuff on it. I have no idea if these symbols and everything are show accurate. I'm assuming they are because they tend to put in some nice, you know, detail into these things. The tail right here, you got some gold paint on the back part right there. Again, the opposite side, you know, same, you know, details and everything there. Yeah, some great stuff. On the actual body itself, so back here, you have this design here. Some nice, you know, metallic red paint that they used also, which looks great, and the gold, of course, with it too. Great detail. The front piece looks awesome also. Very nice detail and everything on this little piece here. Very, very cool. Yeah, some great detail all around. The top part here is, you know, kind of plain, but still looks decent. You got a little chain piece, which actually goes in here, so if you want to take the chain off, you just kind of slide it out like that, and then you can just kind of slide it back on like so. So you have the little chain here, so it is removable, and it just kind of sits on the back like that, but it's still kind of nice, and again, nice and shiny and everything. It really adds to the little design there. And then, of course, you have like his whole neck piece, which is great because it's actually very flexible. So you can completely move it around just like the Dragonzord tail. So you can kind of get an idea. You can move it like all the way forward like that. Oops, and his head just fell off. So these pieces are actually a bit loose, so you really can take it off, you know, wherever you want on his neck. But regardless, it's not going to just fall off randomly unless you put some force on it. But it does get a good amount of range, as you can see, from side to side and everything. So lots of great range, and you can obviously have, you know, this part back, this part forward, or vice versa. So you can really play around with it however you would like, you know. The head, you know, you can move the mouth down a little bit, but basically the way that it opens is you move the top part of the head back like that. So that's about as wide as the mouth will get there. In terms of the detail on it, so again, you got some nice, you know, gold and everything on there. I'll try and zoom in a bit on the face here. So again, some great detail on it there. Some nice shiny, you know, red paint for the eyes and silver around the side there. And there's the mouth on the inside like that. So some great detail on this guy, of course. So yeah, overall, I mean, this guy just looks impressive. He's huge and has a good amount of weight to it. Really nice. It's a mix of, not, the entire thing is not die-cast, but there's a good amount of die-cast. Like this chest piece here is die-cast. I believe the front feet, like this part here, is die-cast. But then like this part is plastic, so it's like a mix. But there's so much stuff there, like it's pretty heavy, so you're getting a good amount of stuff. You know, I don't think that they needed to put any more die cast, or otherwise it would have been hard to even really hold. So yeah, so there's that. So overall, this guy looks great, really cool. So now I want to show you what it can do. So it can kind of transform and go into what's called like a tank mode, which looks okay. And then obviously the main thing is the Ultrazord combination. So let's do that next. Okay, I had to clear out some space on my memory card to continue. So here we go. So to transform this into the tank mode, first thing you're going to do is you're basically going to, this whole piece kind of comes down and you take off this front piece right here. So this piece comes off and this little piece goes down. And when this goes down, you can push down on that. And once you push down on it, you'll see the wheels kind of pop out down below. So now you have more wheels to roll on down here. So that's how that piece goes. Then you're actually going to take this little piece, and this thing actually just lifts up. So the chain in the pictures was kind of out of there, or you can just kind of dump the chain in there. It doesn't really matter. But then you're also going to take the tail here, and you're going to split it into two pieces. And you'll see down here you have this black little piece here that kind of lines up with this little piece of plastic here. So it just kind of sits in, and then you slide it forward, and it clicks right there. Same thing on the other side. Sits in, slide it forward, and it clicks. Okay? And this really is kind of the tank mode, just as is, with just Titanus, not including the other pieces. So I don't know if this is specifically, like this is the picture on the box, but the instructions show obviously some Dragonzord pieces with it too. But the main idea here is you're taking the cannon pieces and they're coming up top, and you got this little thing up here as your background. And even this piece has, it's kind of hard to show up close, so I'll kind of zoom in. Even this piece has some nice detail on it. Some little symbols and stuff there. A little bit of the silver on that. So that's still pretty cool. I do like that they added detail on the back plate right there. So if you imagine this is Titanus in battle mode, so you can still roll it around, and this time because the feet are moving up and down, the cannons move up and down too. So in the show, as he's rolling along, it's firing lasers. So anyway, so that's kind of cool. You know, it's nice to have a small other little mode there. Oops, that piece goes down. So I like that. I think that's pretty neat. But there's more to it than just that. You can combine it with is it the Mega Dragonzord? I don't know what the combination name is for the Legendary Megazord, or the Legacy, the Dino Megazord, the regular Megazord, and the Dragonzord. The combination of the two. And I will, let me just grab it here real quick. So this whole little combination, this thing, which I'm going to set to the side because we'll use it in a second. But when you have that combination, I'm not going to show you how to combine it. You can check out my review of the Legacy Dragonzord for that. It's really annoying to combine it, not very fun at all. But you're going to need some leftover pieces. You have these pieces left over when you do that combination, and you're going to need these. So what you're going to do is this little piece here, you want to make sure it's closed, like it's not, you don't want it long, you want it pushed in like that. And this just kind of sits in. You want to make sure this piece here, oops, is folded outwards so it doesn't hinder anything. And oops. There we go, you just push it down all the way, like that. Okay? So this is what that part is supposed to look like. And then on the back, because you took out the tail and you split it up into the cannons, now you can use the Dragonzord tail as the tail. So you just kind of piece all the pieces together, so it's just one straight little piece there. And this just sticks right in the back, and it clicks in just like so. And there you have that. This gets very long too. This like spans the length of my entire table, so if I push it back anymore, it's gonna knock the poster board back there. So for now, I'm gonna have to put at an angle, and then I'll have to adjust the camera in a little bit and see what I'm gonna do. So Titanus now is ready for the Ultrazord combination. So now we actually have to use the other piece here. So I'm actually gonna push him to the back. Okay. And actually, you know what I also would do? I would take the chain out and just kind of hang it forward, because you're gonna need the chain later. You don't wanna leave it sitting in there. But now I'm gonna take this piece here. And if you've seen my review of the Legacy Dragonzord, you'll know how much I do not like this mode. Like, I like the way it looks, but it's so annoying to put together, and it very easily falls apart. These joints are super loose, and if I push on it a little bit, this whole thing's gonna crumble over. And these pieces constantly fall out as well. This mode to set up is a pain. It is very annoying. And unfortunately, it's no different, obviously, with the Ultrazord combination. So keep that in mind when you're trying to do all these combinations. It can very easily fall apart, and it gets frustrating. So the end result, I think, is worth it, but just keep that in mind. So anyways, now what you're gonna do, oh, actually, sorry, I forgot one other thing. I'll move it to the side. I do need to take out the feet right here on Titanus. It's so hard to like do this from a distance because the camera's in my face. So I'm gonna take out the feet part, and on the other side as well. So you're gonna need these later. So now I'll push Titanus back to the back again. Yeah. Oops. Okay, and the feet pieces you want to like flatten basically, so you just kind of rotate it until they're flat like that. Okay, and we'll put these to the side for now. All right, now let's bring this guy back into view. So he does kind of lean forward a little bit. Oh, see, there you go. It begins the annoyingness. Stay. Very, very, very frustrating. Oh my goodness. Okay, just stay, please. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this front chest piece and attach it up front here. So you have these little prongs there which attach into the pterodactyl, and there you go. Now you see how annoying this gets. Yeah, I do not like this combination. It is so top heavy because of the die-cast metal. They designed this so improperly. There's way too much weight up top. Looks great, but it's just poorly designed with all the die-cast metal. I love die-cast, but you gotta really think about the combinations, you know? I'll fix all the feet and stuff. Oh, whatever, I'll fix it now. I was gonna say I'll fix it later, but stay. Okay, so there. So it is top heavy, it's still leaning. So to prevent this, what they tried to do, and I guess it's nice that they recognize it's an issue, they actually gave these two other little plastic pieces with Titanus. So these came with Titanus. We haven't used them yet, but essentially they kind of just slide onto the little joints like that. And I think the idea is they're there to prevent it from really moving forward, and it actually does kind of help it a little bit. You'll see it doesn't really break forward as much. But these things easily come off, and there's no way these little plastic pieces are going to hold the weight of this entire thing. So it still does break apart pretty easily, but to their credit, it actually does help a little bit, so I guess that is nice. Next thing you're going to do is you're actually going to move the arms forward. And there, that falls again. Okay, let me fix this again. Stay. Stay. Ah! There. And you're going to take these pieces now and attach them onto the arms. So essentially, you're going to attach it like this, so the plastic piece is up top, the little gap is down below, and it just kind of just attaches onto the side. Just clicks in just like that. Click in. Sometimes it gives me a little bit of trouble, I don't know why, but it just kind of, there we go, just got to fidget with it a little bit. And you see these plastic pieces are actually, it's already sliding outwards, so I keep having to push it in, but the pressure is pushing them outwards, so they help a little bit, but not too much. So there's kind of the final little combined form there. The one thing that I would recommend now is actually, there's these little gold pieces. You're going to need to do this later. You might as well open it up now. All right, so you're going to open up those gold pieces like that. And what's going to happen is you're going to put that chain in here and then close it, so it's kind of like he's holding the chain. And I just knocked that part over again. All right, so now let me try and maneuver this whole thing. Move this to the side for just a second. Okay. Let's move Titanus facing forward. Okay. And then, this is really hard to do with the camera in my face. I'm going to try and place this guy inside. Oh, okay. All right. So he's standing still. And then you're going to take the chain and essentially hold it there, and then you just kind of close that in, and it grabs the chain there. Oh, he's leaning forward. He's leaning forward. Uh-oh, I'm afraid he's about to, like, fall apart now. Make sure the plastic pieces are okay. Stay. Stand up. Stand up straight, please. Alright, so this is really the best that you're going to get there. He does lean forward a little bit, but that's really, there's nothing you can do about that. Now, unfortunately, I can't really move this guy back anymore because the tail is going to push the poster board back. Let me move the camera so you get an idea. This is the Ultrazord right there. And it looks awesome. I actually really do like the way that it looks. The problem is you just can't really move it much. I tried before this video to turn it, and then it just sort of fell apart. So you can try and move it a little bit, and obviously the wheels and stuff will still move, and the cannons will move up and down. But you just have to be very careful, because this thing will fall over super easily. So I'm going to try my best to turn this thing so you can get a side view here. This is very dangerous what I'm doing because this thing's about to fall apart right now. You have to be super careful. Let me just try and hold it. Oh, no, see, there you go. I touched it a little and it just fell apart. So, yeah, it's frustrating. I get very frustrated with it. So let me try and fix this up again. So, I like the way this guy looks. I really do. It's just such a pain to put together. It just really is. So I think You know, these items, they're toys, right? Power Rangers toys. I wouldn't really even call this a toy, because the second you try and play with it, because that's what you do with toys, it falls apart. So I would call this more of like a model in a way, because you really can't do much with it. It'll just fall apart. But it still looks great. It's just, you can't do anything with it. I'll fix this piece now. And leaning forward again. Trying to do what I can, but he's leaning forward quite a bit. I hope it doesn't fall apart again. So anyways, that's probably the best that I'm going to be able to do right now. I'll try and turn it just a little bit. Yeah. I'm just going to move my camera just to show you. There it is. This is the Ultrazord combination. It is definitely leaning forward a decent amount, but I can't really do anything more about that. I think it looks great. Just the detail on everything combined looks fantastic. I really do like it. I think it's nice and shiny. The diecast metal is good for that, at least, as well. There's some nice paint that they used, and overall it looks very impressive. It's a huge size, and yeah, I mean, it's definitely really cool. I have the legendary Megazord right here next to it, so you can kind of get if I pick up the camera, bit of a size comparison there. So it is definitely a bigger size, definitely pretty massive and pretty cool in that regard. But unfortunately, you can't move it much or it's going to fall apart. So you can kind of like take a chance and roll it back and forward a little bit to get like the cannon moving, which is nice, but just be very careful with it. Just don't move this piece or it'll fall apart. So anyways, I think you guys get the point. That's that. Do I think it's worth it? Yes. You know what? Despite the issues that this has, I think each item on its own is pretty fantastic. The Legacy Megazord is awesome, and it looks great. A great representation of the original Zords. The Dragon Zord looks fantastic. Titanus looks fantastic. The combined form looks fantastic. It's just the process of putting it all together is a huge pain. But regardless, I think the final product for all of these items is great. So Titanus is definitely a great item to get. If you are a fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you will love Titanus, I think. There's just so much great detail on it, the paint, everything about it is awesome. Now the price is obviously pricey at $200, so hopefully you can try and find it, you know, on sale with a coupon or something. But I think it's definitely a great collector's item, and I'm happy that they released it. So despite the issues of putting it together, I think the final product itself is great. And Titanus on its own, even without this final combination, looks awesome. So definitely something to check out for collectors and longtime fans of Power Rangers. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Titanus and seeing the Ultrazord in action. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments below and check it out. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Got lots more reviews on the way, and I will see you guys later.